There is a building in the middle of one of the most crowded cities on Earth that doesn't look like a house at all. It looks like something that shouldn't exist. A 27-story tower rising straight up out of a residential street, with no fence, no long driveway, no attempt to hide. And yet, this is not an office building, not a hotel, not a government headquarters. It is a single family's home. 600 people work inside it every single day. It has its own private fleet of helicopters on the roof, 6 entire floors reserved just for parking cars, and a private movie theater that seats 50 guests. Its estimated value is roughly $2 billion, making it, by most reported measures, the most expensive privately owned residence on the planet, more valuable than some of the most famous royal palaces in Europe. This is Antilia, and by the time this video ends, you are going to understand exactly why a building like this was ever allowed to exist, what secrets are hidden inside its walls, and why so many people around the world look at it and feel two completely different things at once, awe and outrage. To understand Antilia, you first have to understand the man who built it. His name is Mukesh Ambani, and he is the chairman of Reliance Industries, a business empire so vast it touches oil refining, telecommunications, retail, and media across an entire nation of over 1 billion people. Ambani did not inherit a mansion. He commissioned one from scratch. And instead of doing what almost every other billionaire on Earth does, buying a quiet, secluded estate far away from prying eyes, he made the opposite choice. He built his home directly in the heart of Mumbai, on a hill called Kumbhala Hill, visible from the street, unmistakable on the skyline, impossible to ignore. It was, in a sense, a statement before a single brick was laid. This family was not going to hide. To bring this vision to life, Ambani hired an architecture firm from Chicago and paired them with a hospitality design team more accustomed to building 5-star luxury hotels than private homes. And that detail alone should tell you something. This was never going to be a normal house. It was going to function more like a private resort, with departments, staff hierarchies, and daily operations closer to a hotel than a household. Now let's talk about the numbers, because they are almost impossible to process the first time you hear them. Antilia reportedly spans around 400,000 square feet of living space, roughly the size of a corporate office tower, except every single inch of it was designed for one family to live inside. The building rises 27 stories into the Mumbai skyline, but because its ceilings are dramatically taller than a normal building's, its actual height rivals structures with 40 or more conventional floors. And here is where the engineering becomes genuinely extraordinary. Mumbai sits in a seismic zone, meaning earthquakes are a real and ongoing risk. So Antilia was reportedly engineered to withstand an earthquake, measuring up to magnitude 8 on the Richter scale, a level of structural reinforcement typically reserved for hospitals or critical government infrastructure, not for a family's living room. 6 entire floors near the base of the building are dedicated purely to vehicle parking for the family and their guests, meaning you could pass through more parking levels in this house than most airports have. Above that, the building unfolds almost like a stack of separate neighborhoods, each floor assigned its own purpose, climbing higher and higher toward the family's private residential floors near the very top, overlooking the Arabian Sea. And once you step past the parking levels, past the mechanical floors, past the layers of security most guests never even see, that is when the real spectacle begins. Somewhere inside this tower is a private movie theater built for 50 people, finished with the kind of comfort found in the world's most exclusive cinemas. There is a grand ballroom capable of hosting events large enough that most families would need to rent an entire venue just to match it. There is a full health spa and wellness center, along with a private salon, meaning residents essentially never need to step outside the building for personal care. a small, almost playful detail buried inside a structure otherwise obsessed with scale and grandeur. There is a private temple built so that religious practice remains part of daily life, rather than something separate from it. And keeping all of this running are more than 600 full-time staff members, a workforce larger than many mid-sized companies, dedicated entirely to a single household. At the very top of the building sit multiple private helipads, allowing the family to arrive and depart without ever setting foot on Mumbai's infamously congested streets below. In a city where a car ride can take hours, that single detail might be the most valuable luxury in the entire building. But here is where the story stops being simply impressive and starts becoming genuinely uncomfortable. Because Antilia does not exist on some remote private island, sealed off from the rest of the world. It exists inside Mumbai, a city where, just a short distance from this $2 billion tower, millions of people live in some of the largest informal settlements on Earth, in conditions that stand in brutal contrast to everything happening inside those 27 floors. Journalists, economists, and ordinary residents have spent years debating what this building actually represents. Is it proof of what ambition and success can achieve? Built by a man whose business empire employs enormous numbers of people and drives a significant share of India's economy? Or is it something closer to a monument, a towering, impossible-to-ignore symbol of exactly how wide the gap between the ultra-wealthy and everyone else has become? There is no single correct answer here, and that tension is precisely what makes Antilia so much more than just an architectural curiosity. It sits at the center of one of the defining questions of our era. When personal wealth reaches a scale this extreme, what, if anything, does it owe to the world around it? And this is where the story reaches its sharpest, most uncomfortable turn. Because Antilia was never simply a home. From the moment it was completed, it became something closer to a mirror, reflecting back whatever the viewer already believed about wealth, ambition, and fairness. To some, it is proof that no dream is too large. That raw ambition combined with enormous success can quite literally reshape a skyline. To others, it is something closer to a warning, a building so disconnected from the reality surrounding it that it raises the uneasy question of whether extreme wealth, left completely unchecked, eventually stops looking like success and starts looking like something else entirely. And the truly unsettling part is this: almost no one outside the family and its staff has ever actually stepped inside to see the full picture. Most of what the world knows about Antilia comes from secondhand reports, leaked details, and carefully managed information, meaning the building the public imagines may not even fully match the one that actually exists behind those walls. In a world obsessed with transparency, one of the most valuable homes on the planet remains almost entirely hidden in plain sight. So the next time you scroll past a headline about billion-dollar homes, or private islands, or mansions with their own movie theaters and helipads, remember Antilia, 27 stories tall, 600 staff strong, sitting in open view in the middle of one of the world's busiest cities, and still, somehow, one of the most mysterious buildings on Earth. Because the real question was never just what's inside those walls. It's what a building like this says about all of us, about what we're willing to celebrate, what we're willing to ignore, and how far the gap between the world's wealthiest and everyone else can stretch before something has to give. And if a home this extreme can exist quietly in plain sight today, you have to wonder what's already being built right now, somewhere in the world, that none of us know about yet.